Hey, fellow enthusiasts, welcome back to another episode of the Motorsport Enthusiast. Today we're going to be discussing the Key Museum outside Izmir, Turkey. Now, quick fun facts about Izmir. Izmir is actually a city on the Aegean coastline, also used to be known as Smyrna in antiquity. It was founded by the Greeks and taken over by the Romans and rebuilt by Alexander the Great before becoming part of the Ottoman Empire in the 15th century.
So just remember, when you're driving through Turkey or when you're visiting Turkey, check out the city of Izmir. Again, lots of beautiful history tied with it. Plus, you got the Key Museum right next to it.
So, fun fact about the Key Museum, there's actually 170 models inside the Key Museum between vehicles and actual cars. And it's actually the largest car museum outside of Izmir. So if you're within that vicinity of Izmir, this is going to be the biggest, baddest car museum that you'll be able to see there. The Key Museum is actually over 7,000 square meters as well. And the museum was actually founded by two brothers, Murat and Salim Ozogorki. So forgive me, I cannot speak Turkish very well. So for any listeners that may be Turkish, please feel free to put in the comments how to properly pronounce the name. But they actually took the last syllable of their name and named the museum after that. So the Zgorki brothers are actually quite enthusiasts of automobiles. They actually own several dealerships as well. They actually own some of the largest BMW dealerships in Western Turkey. So as you see further down the video, there's actually a whole exhibit dedicated to BMWs. They actually have a roll of all the M series that came out, which is pretty cool because I have an E46 M3, and that's actually the CSL edition, which I wish I could have. But unfortunately, they couldn't bring it here into the States. So my overall experience of the museum was, I gotta admit, it's amazing. It is definitely one of the top museums I strongly recommend visiting. Now, the vehicles in the museum aren't particularly different that you would see outside of the United States. I mean, if you go to a very, like the Peterson Museum, you'll see a lot of these vehicles at the Peterson Museum because the Peterson Museum in Los Angeles has some of the more rare vehicles. So when you go to the bigger car museums, you'll see some duplicates. But the thing about Turkey is not a lot of these vehicles exist anymore. So they may not be, don't get me wrong, all of these vehicles are pretty rare. In the United States, they're a little bit more common because of how big of our population is and how much we're onto cars here. In Turkey, they're still into cars as well, but because the population is a little smaller and things have shifted, a lot of these vehicles are definitely a lot more rare. And so you get to see a lot of the rarities of vehicles from in the past that are there. Not just cars, but they also have motorcycles as well, which I found pretty cool. But overall, the museum was just drop dead gorgeous. I was surprised. I didn't want to leave it, to be quite honest. The way that the floor, as you see, is checkered on the side, the walls, the beautiful paint on there, and then the art that's associated with the vehicles, line on the left, on the right, and down the center. Now, in between this building that you're seeing here, and there's a hangar in the back, there's a section in the center where they have a bunch of model cars all around from all the vehicles that were ever made, all the sports cars. It was like a childhood dream. I wish I owned a museum because I would never leave there. In the back in the hangar, they also have a lot of the older, more rare vehicles. They also have a lot of the motorcycles. And there's a sub-hangar, as you see, where they house a lot of the BMW vehicles that are there because of them owning BMW dealerships. So overall, the car museum was phenomenal. A lot of the cars, again, were pretty rare. To give you an example of some of the rare cars they actually have at the museum, one of them was a 1924 Rolls-Royce Silver Ghost, a 1932 Packard Light 8 sedan, also a 1925 Renault Type NM4. To be quite honest, kind of ignorant of me, but I didn't even know Renault was around back in 1925. So I was a bit surprised, to be quite honest. There were some vehicles that I didn't even know were around because Turkey is right next to Europe. So they have a lot of the older European vehicles that we actually don't see here, such as Renault. I didn't see any Peugeots, but there was a couple other ones of brands that no longer exist. So in that aspect of it, when you go overseas to check out some of the car museums, you'll see some of these one-off vehicles that you didn't think that they have. Now, in another video, you'll actually see some Soviet Union vehicles and some cars that were actually made in Turkey. They actually did have an automotive industry in the 70s for a little bit of time, and unfortunately, it no longer exists. But they actually have some of those vehicles. But unfortunately, in the Key Museum, they do not have the old school Soviet era vehicles, nor do they have the vehicles that were built in Turkey. Instead, they have a lot more of these classic muscle cars as well as classic vehicles that people loved and admired. These are enthusiasts who love the flashy vehicles without a doubt. Now, interesting enough, unfortunately, embarrassingly enough, actually, I should say, that there is a Batmobile there and Batcycle. If you see closely in the video, you'll see it in the background, but I did not actually record it on my phone. Now, I did record it for the Instagram. Again, another shameless plug, the Moto Inu, if you want to follow me on Instagram there. I have more details on every single vehicle that you're saying. If I were to go over every single detail on every single car, this video would be hours and hours long. So I just took a picture of the vehicle as well as the detail of the car. But on there, you'll see the Batmobile and the Batcycle. Now, the Batmobile is actually a replica, and the original one, I believe, is sitting over in Los Angeles Museum. But the Batcycle is actually the original Batcycle. So I found that pretty interesting that they were able to get one of the original Batcycles because there's multiple of them, and they actually have one of them there. So that in itself is worth visiting. So again, the vehicles that they have there are a vast array of different vehicles that are definitely worth checking out. Overall, folks, the Key Museum was an amazing museum. Not only the interior design of the museum was gorgeous and amazing, but the vehicles that they have there and how well preserved they are. That was another thing I didn't mention earlier in the video. These vehicles look practically brand new. They do a really good job restoring these vehicles. It's actually quite impressive. Now, I couldn't see the interiors of them too much because they were blocked off, but the paint was phenomenal, and from what I can see in the interior, they really take care of these vehicles. So if you happen to live in Izmir, you definitely got to go check out this museum. And if you're going to visit Turkey, try to make your way to Izmir. Again, beautiful, amazing city with lots of history, but then you also have this amazing car museum that's out there. So, strongly recommend doing that. Overall, folks, thank you for watching this episode of the Motorsport Enthusiast. I plan to have another episode next Friday in regards to the automotive museum in Istanbul. Then I have another one in Greece, and then just speaking with someone in regards to the car culture in Turkey. But please also don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm actually really enjoying doing this, and I want to continue doing this as long as I have enough subscribers and engagement. So please, in the comments, feel free to make any recommendations that could help me out with my channel. I am completely new at this, and I am doing this by myself. I actually just bought a microphone, so hopefully my voice sounds better in this video than the previous video, because it sounded kind of scratchy, and I wanted to bring better content to you folks. So please let me know what I can do to make this better. I am I am completely new at this, and so I want to improve myself because there's a lot of cool automotive history and just motorsport history out there and events that I want to tackle and do. I just want to make sure that I am delivering in a format that is educational, but is also something that you folks can see and learn from. I have a tendency of being redundant, apparently. And so if you notice that, please let me know, and I will definitely try and correct that. But again, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I will leave a link for my Instagram so you can take a look at more of these pictures. I will also leave a link to the Key Museum. There is an English version that you could go into, and feel free to take a look at it. Other than that, I will see you next Friday, folks. Thank you.